Hello everyone, it's Corvette Dan. Welcome back to the channel. What we have here is a 1968 Chevrolet Corvette C3 427 4-speed big block. We are going to show how to go over and identify the accuracy of, let's say, the block, the trim tag, what color the car originally was, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure it's a legitimate 427. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start underneath the hood here. First thing we can tell is that those aren't original valve covers. The original valve covers on this car were chrome, plain. Second thing we're noticing major here is we're going to go to the block. The block tag, or the number, is, I'll try to get in there for you to see, but basically, we're trying to, you see those numbers down there, folks? Well, those numbers, if you can see them, that identifies this block in terms of what it is. Now, I have here the Corvette Black Book, which you can find online or at the Corvette Museum. And going to 1968 and identifying the different blocks, I can tell you, because we read the numbers, those numbers do not coincide with the block. It is a big block, there's no question. However, some quick looking, we determined that this block, it is number 385-5961, and it is from a 1966 Corvette. That is one of the things you want to do. That's the major thing when you're talking about verifying a numbers matching classic Corvette, is you want to make sure you have the right block. At least the good news for this car is that it does have a Corvette block in it, out of a 66 albeit. Another thing we noticed right away is these are not the correct hubcaps. These should be what they call the turbine hubcaps, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Another thing we want to look at here too, we open up the door. This is a 1968, folks. First year of the C3. The body and trim tag should be right there, but it is missing. That's not a good thing. Another thing we're noticing, folks, is there's obvious signs that this car was repainted. Not necessarily anything that's a big deal. This car is 54 years old, folks. But one thing I want to tell you, this wasn't the greatest of sprays in the first place. The interior, we believe, based on some other looking here, is because the trim tag is not here, we have identified this interior originally to be Silverstone Silver, which should have been code 986. I'm sorry, that it would be what we identified the body to be. After looking under some panels here, we believe we found some original paint to be the Silverstone Silver 986 code with what is called the gunmetal interior. We found enough signs to verify that this probably is a gunmetal interior. Another thing to notice is we believe the steering wheel is incorrect. In fact, I know it is. I've looked at other cars here. It is a 4-speed. It doesn't have the original stereo. It does have the 7,000 RPM tachometer and the 160 mile an hour speedometer. Just different things you want to look for, folks. But we identified this is not the correct block. And this is where the body and trim tag would be, which is missing. So at this point, you're kind of left to guess. Now remember, this car is 54 years old. It is a legitimate 427 big block 4-speed car. It was rated at 390 horsepower. This car is still very desirable. Let me know what you think, C3 fans. I'd like to know if you have any other clues or advice that we can look at to further identify this car. Because at this point, without that body and trim tag, you want to look at other things. Astro ventilation. I believe that was in 68 that they put that on there. This also being a 68 should have the wiper door, vacuum operated. I've been told that this does operate okay. It should definitely have a point style distributor. These wire looms are aftermarket, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. The air cleaner does look to appear to be original. This was a 427 4-speed AC car, folks. If that is correct, it is desirable, even though it doesn't have a non-matching numbers motor. Another thing to look for, see those wires underneath the hood? Those shouldn't be painted. This wasn't a very good respray. It wasn't even the original color to boot. Anyway, folks, this would make a wonderful restoration project. There's no question about it. There's value to be had here. Let me know what you think, folks. Please comment, click the bell to be notified of future videos. Like, comment, and as always, subscribe to the channel. This is Corvette Dan. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.